Party's just starting, huh? Hey, Teddy. How's it going?
Slow.
Sorry I'm late. Had to see a dog about a man. Where's the guest of honour?
Frank's been and gone. He'll be back. Soon.
You don't say. Teddy, what's with all the glum faces? I thought things would be in full swing by now. I'm plenty late.
It's good you're late. You missed Frank's goodbye gift. You missed out on that damn briefcase of his.
Briefcase? I wouldn't have thought people would be so sore about him leaving. After all, he's just a fellow we like to kick about. One thing I don't get, though, is how does a shelf-stacking mug like that suddenly get the scratch to move to Acapulco?
Good old Aunt Sally.
Say what?
Shut up for a minute, Sly, and I'll tell you. Tell you what was in that briefcase. It was only a few hours ago. I was already 3 pints into the day and feeling good. I didn't care if Frank was going. None of us did. I just cared the chump had put on a free bar. Round about then, the man of the hour decided to show. He thanks us all for seeing him off. That his days are going to be pools and margaritas from here on in. Turns out some Aunt Sally died and left him serious money. Moving to Acapulco kind of money. Beach villas kind of money. And he'd organised all this to make a very special kind of goodbye to us all. He started taking us to task, Sly. All the ways we'd screwed him. He started with Danny and all that rent he's never paid, plus the more he'd borrowed. Then he talked about Rob and that roofie he slipped in Frank's beer the one night, leaving him naked outside the police station with a chunky kick at halfway in his colon.
That was a good night.
And then, of course, he moves on to dear Laura, his girlfriend. How she finally warmed up to all his advances, exactly the same time he got a car. Then it was all 2 AM clubside pickups for her and her friends, 7 AM lifts to work, midnight runs for fags. But in all that time, she never felt quite ready to consummate their love. Finally, he got to me, the best friend. At least every time I needed a place to crash or someone to buy pot. But maybe not quite so much the best friend all those times I was 6 inches deep in his girlfriend.
Wow. Sounds like Aunt Sally left him a backbone as well as that money. So did you say anything back?
Sure I did. I told him I didn't care that he knew. I told him it wasn't anybody's fault that he was such a chump.
What did he do?
He just laughed. Told me I was right. He was a chump. He'd always been a chump. But today is the day all that changes. Right about then, he opened that briefcase of his.
Well, what was inside?
Money.
How much?
Enough
Enough.
to solve all your problems. To realise all your dreams.
And he was going to just give it to you?
No. We had to earn it. All we had to do was one little thing.
Well, what?
To earn enough money to quit your job, move abroad, buy whatever you want. All we had to do was suck him off.
You're serious? He wanted a blowjob? A knob bob? He was going to pay you all that money to chrome his dome? Fuck!
Not just any blowjob. The best. You see, there's only one briefcase. Only one person gets it. The one who gives him the best lip love in the room. We were speechless. We didn't know if he was joking or nuts or what. All we knew was what was in that case was real. And not one person here could take their eyes off it. He could understand if we all balked at this, he said. They would all tell him to go to hell. It was a grim task he was asking after all. The choice was entirely ours, and he could understand if we had too much self-respect to take him up on his offer. But that he'd be keeping his front door unlocked for the next 2 hours, just in case.
So, who was first?
Danny. Just sniffing out for a smoke, he said. Didn't take his lighter, though, and came back eyes to the floor and chewing spearmint gum. We all knew. He'd been smoking Frank's sausage. Then Rob and Kelly start fighting it up. Factory work just wasn't stretching far enough. And with their kid about to start school.
Jeez.
It's necessity, Sly. They keep coming up short on that rent. It's back to the council flat. That's no place for a kid to grow up. Rob knew that most of all. But he was damned if his girl was going to have to hoover their problems away. Which is why he stormed off down that street and played the skin flute. For the good of his family.
Whoa.
Only afterwards, Kelly got to thinking maybe he'd not done a good enough job. Maybe Danny was secretly a helmet master and had outblown Rob, you know? She wasn't prepared to take that risk.
And Laura?
Of course, Laura. And of course, me.
You?
We all yaffled his yogurt cannon. All spoken to his bonophone. How could we not?
I never knew he had it in him. And now you've all had it out of him. How much was in that case? How much does dignity cost? I mean, for God's sake, Teddy. Frank only has like one shower a month.
You want to talk about dignity? How about having to detail my failures down the dole office twice a month? Begging my bank for money? Or ringing my mother for food parcels? God damn it, Sly. I'm not a yuppie. I don't care about the money. I just can't stand the fear anymore. The fear of tomorrow. That's why we all wrapped our lips around his stinky bishop. And why we're waiting for him to walk back through that door any moment. What's that case and what it contains? A life without fear.
But at what cost, Teddy? With every sigh of contentment you make, you'll taste his balls on your breath. With every pound you spend, you'll feel his love glop dribble down your chin. I don't think it's a price I could have paid.
Well done, Sly. You earned every penny.